Well, hello racing fans, and welcome to our Gallop TV Preview Show for Saturday the 14th of December. And it's one of the highlights when it comes to the South African racing calendar. And really glad that the operator has put on a sweetener for you, the valued racing fan, on this big day, which is a carryover of R1 million to the Pick Six. The estimated pool is 4 million. And I like the fact that it's a standalone race meeting, so it will be well supported. And of course, it's the 2 million rand Hollywoodbets Cape Guineas. It's a Group 1 with 4 other feature races on the card. So, as always, I trust that you're well. Looking forward to this preview with Alistair Cohen. Yep, Mr. Hawkins, that's Graham. He is in rehab, and we wish him a speedy recovery after his procedure with what was a hip replacement. So, Graham, all the best. But Alistair Cohen, nice to have you on the show for Hollywoodbets Kenilworth in what promises to be a wonderful race meeting.
Yeah, thanks, Dean. I think first things first, give our best wishes to Graham. I know that he'll be watching this podcast, and just hearing from him over the last few days, good to hear that he's on the mend, and hoping to be back in the full swing of things in due course. So nice to be on the show for a Hollywoodbets Kenilworth meeting, and nice meeting to be previewing. As you mentioned, that 4 million rand carryover, or the targeted pool for the Pick Six on a standalone, is very enticing indeed, and with the quality that we have on offer with the Grade 1 Hollywoodbets Cape Guineas and quite a few other very interesting races on the card, some strong races on the card, I think punters are going to get a full bang for their buck here. There's a lot of talk, a lot of hype around the Hollywoodbets Cape Guineas. I mean, not that it's really going to appeal to too many racing fans. The Klopse will be in action at Hollywoodbets Kenilworth on Saturday. They add to an unbelievable atmosphere. It'll be their Twitter, or the highlight going into their Twitter near Villar, for first marquee. So for those that are interested, come and see them. But as far as the racing is concerned, you want to be part of it. A lot of tickets are being sold for the racing pavilion, and also the entertainment and the market at Hollywoodbets Kenilworth. So we're expecting a good day, and obviously the class on offer makes it even better. A lot of talk, a lot of hype, and a lot of reputations on the line.
Okay, let's get straight into it. And of course, race number 1 for the youngsters. And race number 1 will begin at 12:20, and this is over 1,000 meters. Let's bring up the field, have a look at the betting as a guide, and I'm sure Alistair would have looked up some pedigrees as I have. Number 1, She's My World at 7-2. Number 2, Yamakazi at 9-2. Number 4 is Mulsbury Missile at 6-1. 5 is at 28-10. That's Parental Guidance. Number 6, Better Man, is at 3-1. 7, Captain John Snow, is at 6-1. And I would have expected the well-related Vapor Trail, number 8, to be at a shorter price. But guess what? You'll see his half-brother, the favorite, later on for the Hollywoodbets Guineas, one stripe. So this horse is trading at around 20-1. But there is little confidence from Vaughan Marshall when we look at the comments in the form guide that I'm using, which is a computer form. But Alistair's got his ear on the ground, and he usually can point us in some type of direction on what he's heard. I don't know what's your thoughts here in race number 1, Alistair, but I was actually surprised when I took down the betting of Vapor Trail at 20-1.
Talk here, Dees, for the opener. Good noises coming out of various yards. When you look around at the trainers that have runners here, Snaith, Cotson, Reeves and Marshall, 4 trainers represented in the 8-runner field, and I'd venture to say that all 4 are very good at getting their youngsters ready. Talking about number 8, Vapor Trail, obviously the half-brother to One Stripe, who's likely to start favourite in the Hollywoodbets Cape Guineas. I have heard whispers about the other 2, for what it's worth. I'd anticipate that Vapor Trail might come into his own with a run under the belt and over a little bit further. We know that One Stripe was obviously a forward 2-year-old, and he trained on, but after all, Vapor Trail and One Stripes out of a Silvano mare, so there'll probably be a little bit more momentum to come with a run under the belt. So this is what I've heard. You say that I've done homework with my pedigrees. Number 4, Malmesbury Missile, out of Grade 1 winner Gabor. Glenn Cotson trains, Chad Little takes a ride. Malmesbury Missile, obviously Peter Steph de Toy. Positive vibes, but not the loudest noise coming out of the camp. By parental guidance, I believe Richard Fourie committed to ride this horse whenever he made his debut a long time ago. Half-brother to Proceed, that's one of, I think, the main carrots dangling in front of Richard, why he was so keen on number 5, parental guidance. Obviously, Richard partnered Proceed to his win at Hollywoodbets Scottsville when capturing Grade 1 Glory, and the son of Quirari, trained by Paul Reeves, ridden by Richard Fourie. The family's all precocious. Why wouldn't he be? But I heard the most noise out of the Vaughan Marshall camp, D's, and it initially sounded like number 6, Better Man, with Gavin Lorena was the one to watch, because obviously being by One World and the whole link with Vaughan Marshall, One World, Gavin Lorena, Rakesh Sugalam, and Jared and Lawrence Burners, it kind of all put pieces into the puzzle. But after getting around Hollywoodbets Kenilworth on Wednesday, I'm now hearing that number 7, Captain Jon Snow, could be the right one under Sean Veal. Again, disclaimers apply with a whole lot of first-timers. Watch the market. But number 7, Captain Jon Snow, at the time of recording, sounds like the one in race number 1. And just a quick word about number 1, She's My World. She has been to Hollywoodbets Kenilworth twice to Gallop. She's seen the track. She won't be as green as the others. She is a filly with a sex allowance. And they're expecting her to go quite well as well. So a lot of moving parts in race number 1, D's.
Okay, the fact that you mentioned number 7, Captain Jon Snow, I will tell you he's related to Teflon Man, who is a fair sort for the Kanamea stable and Love in Winter. And there is some support now, Alistair. I just looked it up as you mentioned the horse. I said 6-1. Well, that has shortened into 9-2. So take note. That could be the way to go there from the Vaughan Marshall runners, number 7, Captain Jon Snow. We move along to race number 2, where the exotics will begin at 12:55 over 1,000 meters, and it's a maiden plate for fillies. And it's not ideal for punters to have a race of this nature kicking off the exotics, but it is what it is, and you're going to have to use the betting as the guide and possibly wait until the very last to put in that first leg of your buy pot. Alistair, number 1, Wild Green, related to the very speedy Sheila at 33-10. Horse number 3 is trading at 5-1, related to the recent winner up in Gauteng called Good Counsel. Then we move along to number 7, Take It As Read, as 6-1. Number 8, What a Star. Just keep an eye on this individual, because the dam was decent. Winning 5 times. 9 Between the Lines is at 4-1. And then 10, Music of the Night, a daughter of What a Winter, the mount of Richard Fourie. Also dam winning from 1,400 to 2,000 meters. I don't know what you made of the betting and the way they priced them up, but they got Music of the Night as the top one. Any talk here in race number 2?
Well, I hate to break it to you and to the punters. Race 1, lots of noise. Race 2, not a word that I've heard. The best card that we've got is the betting. The canter past, as you mentioned, perhaps wait as long as you can to strike those bipods, and the comments at the computer, at the front of the computer form, and all the comments are pretty much cut from the same cloth. I say that number 1, Wild Green, and 10, Music of the Night have got the most positivity about them. Those 2 Drakenstein runners, numbers 1 and 10, as you mentioned, Wild Green relates to Sheila, is a half sister to Sheila by the United States, and she was rapidly quick, was Sheila. So you would anticipate number 1, Wild Green, would be cut from the same cloth, and then number 10, Music of the Night, just precocity all over the place, with Richard Fourie taking the ride. My knee-jerk reaction to this race, D's, is go with the experience. Number 9, Between the Lines. On debut, she was all at sea for the first bit of the race, but then she found her stride. She put it all together and finished off the race encouragingly behind Black Cheetah. Not that in 3 months' time she'll be a better horse than all of these rivals that she's got here, but we know that the experience counts for a lot. So I'd tip her on top, but that could be subject to change come race time. What does excite me is the first Hawam to run, number 7, Take It As Read. 3 freshman sires this season, Hawam, Declaration of Peace, and Eric the Red. We've seen a couple of Eric the Reds. Matter of time before he has his first winner. Very excited to see the Hawams, although also a little bit surprised to see them coming out this early. But 9 top choice, the 2 first timers that make appeal, 1 and 10.
All right, let's go on to race number 3, which is the start of the place accumulator, 1330, 1200 meters, the distance. And we will bring up the field. Number 1, Tuscan Romance at 22 to 10. Then we go on to number 9, Englefield Green. Andre Nell and Corne Offer having a wonderful run at 2 to 1. Number 10, From a Distance at 33 to 10. We got first timers here, numbers 15 and 16, and horse number 8. Now, this horse number 8, you look up this pedigree. You're going to pronounce the name for me, Alistair, but you look up this pedigree, you are going to be wowed. We know how good our Table Mountain was. The horse is in double figures. I'll read out some of the siblings to you. Our Icon, Our Prize Jewel, Cloth of Cloud, Halberg Blue, and of course, Silver Mountain. So I'll be keeping a very close eye on this first time at number 8. What are we doing? Race number 3, place accumulator.
So I've got a little bit of inside info because Brett Crawford's our guest on the Cape Racing panel discussion for the Hollywoodbets Cape Guineas, being a Hollywoodbets sponsored trainer. We wrote to him, and even though he's got no runner in the Guineas, and Brett has been kind enough to give all the information. With 4 runners in the race, that information was very, very kindly received. So you will be able to get that on Gallop TV and on Cape Racing, so watch the press for that. You pronounce it Huri Kwacho. I needed the help from Brett as well. As a Zimbabwean, he kind of twisted a little bit, but knew it was Huri Kwacho. Nice filly. But probably just going to need the first run. You're right, regally bred our Table Mountain. She ran the big colours, and nice sort of legacy continuation for the Ridgemont team. Brett's keen on number 1, Tuscan Romance. It's easy to see why. He's of the opinion that her work is as good, if not better, than it's ever been. She is obviously confined to the number 2 box in 6 starts to date. It's becoming a little bit frustrating and a little bit of a running joke at the moment, but she has met some good fillies along the way. I think Garden of Eden's above average, Miss World's above average. Goodness gracious me, although not the finished article yet, I think she's going to kick on and be well above average as well. So I think Tuscan Romance probably got her best chance to date if she is showing better work than ever. She probably is a nailed on PA banker. By you might be best advised to include one other just in case she misses the top 2 for the first time in her life, but I'm not suggesting that in case she is my top choice. But I went in with the other Crawford horse, number 6, Bazonda, as a horse to watch. The first run was actually bizarre. She was nowhere in the early stage. I actually called the race, and I saw her flash past and mentioned her in the finish, but I actually thought to myself, who is that? Because I didn't give that horse a mention for the first half of the race. She was so far back going through the halfway stage, and she finished off the race very, very nicely indeed. She's out of a mare that was an out-and-out sprinter in Kaberga with Yvette Bremner, was Valdivia. But I think this daughter of Canford Cliffs, if she learns anything, she'll step up, and I think she can get into the top 4 here. Obviously, number 9, Englefield Green has a winning chance. 10, From a Distance, has a winning chance. But I think the 2 Crawford horses are very interesting here as far as quartets are concerned. So I'll shop around numbers 1 and 6 as my angle.
1 and 6 for Alistair, but keep an eye out for 9 and 10 as well. And this horse, Tuscan Romance, turning out to be the Vibe SA of the Western Cape. Okay, race number 4. It's a carryover of R1 million, and the estimated pool is 4 million. A very important scratching here of number 1, Red Palace. So I'm not going to read out the betting. That was at 11 to 10. There will be adjustments, and that was sold without engagement. Article I read was 3.8 million rand. Terry and Annabelle Andrews buying the filly back, and that will take no part, Red Palace. So the entire field here, Alistair, have run in that summer bowl it was, that was won by Double Grand Slam. There are weight turnarounds, etc. But do you think that it's now for Sarki to come through after the scratching of 8-1 Red Palace?
Absolutely. Winner of this race last year, she won the Victory Stakes, beating Happy Chance. She got an extra half a kilo to shoulder. Rainbow Lorikeet is in the back of my mind, Dees, but when you consider that we had a less fit Sarki over a distance short of her best, coming back from a layoff, and finds herself in here 4.5 kilos better off with Rainbow Lorikeet. I don't think there's any question. With the scratching of number 1 Red Palace, she becomes a pick 6 banker, and I think this is probably what the punters need going into the pick 6. A little bit of confidence. The yard and the jockeys on absolute fire at the moment. Andre Null and Corne Alpha, they having an unbelievable stint at the start of the summer. I fully expect her to win. I think she's got a golden opportunity to claim back-to-back Hollywood Splash Out Victor Stakes, and there's every opportunity that she'll win. I don't want to overcomplicate this. I don't want to be looking for dangers. Rainbow Lorikeet is my second choice now, but number 4 Sarki, what she showed in Durban, especially in the gold bracelet when she was drawn in the bush, she made up a lot of ground behind Red Palace. I thought she broke through as a 4-year-old, and the fact that she's continuing on that curve, very, very hard horse to beat. She's weighted a good thing on paper. She shouldn't let the team down.
Okay, and there's some declarations now. Of course, Candice Bass Robinson waiting to see what would have happened to Red Palace. Aldo Domeyer on number 3, Rainbow Lorikeet, and JP van der Merwe on number 5, Gold Poker Game. I just had a quick look at the betting, Alistair, and I think they have done the adjustments. Number 4, Sarki, is 7-10, and one would think rightfully so in leg 1 of the pick 6. So Alistair's given us the confidence. We got a banker in that pool that's estimated to reach 4 million rand. Race number 5, Jackpot 1. It's a maiden plate over 1,400 meters. A race that does interest me because there are a lot of horses here that have been gelded, and I think there could be improvement to come. Let's go with the betting and the field. Number 3, Green Garnet at 17-10. Horse number 4, Land of the Rising Sun, is at 18-10. Number 8, Crowned Hornbill at 5-1, and it's double figures the balance. Amongst those that dominate the top of the betting board, Alistair, I think there's quality here. Although you could say like a horse like Green Garnet is taking a bit of time, but I don't think these horses will retire one-time winners. You know, if I look at them, number 3, Green Garnet, number 4, Land of the Rising Sun, and number 8, Crowned Hornbill, they look to be horses that could be very progressive.
I completely agree here, Dees. Even though I've gone 2 horses in the pick 6, which is my suggested bets, I think that overall this is going to be a form line to follow. 3 and 4 are my pick 6 numbers. I just want to start with the first time I trained by Brett and James Crawford, number 11, Smart Horse, the ambitiously named son of Heavenly Blue. And having spent a bit of time with Brett over the years, playing a little bit of golf with him and knowing how he thinks, and when a trainer of that ilk talks, you listen. Include this horse in your trifectas and quartets. The comments at the front of the book are positive, and Brett reckons this horse is going to go quite well. He's optimistic that he won't disgrace himself, and he could very well get into the hunt, number 11, Smart Horse. So just keep him in the back of your mind. But obviously the 2 obvious horses are numbers 3 and 4, Green Garnet and Land of the Rising Sun. I'll probably go with them in that order just because there's a length between them on their run to Rich Folks Hoax. Green Garnet was just collared over the closing stages by Rich Folks Hoax. The penultimate start when running second to Aristotle, that form line was Frank Gavin. Lorena takes her out for Eric Sands. Sands' yard is going along very nicely at the moment. So Green Garnet got to be a horse to consider. Yes, you're right. He might have been a little bit disappointing that he hasn't won in 7 starts to date, but since coming to Cape Town, he's probably developed, become a nice horse, and he's got an opportunity. He's got a very strong winning chance here. 4, Land of the Rising Sun has to be respected. He's always been held in high regard. It's his first run on the summer course since he made his debut. Well, it was down the straight as well. And this big striding son of Dan on Platina is going to love every stride on the extra 150-meter run. And Richard Ferree's on board again. And yes, he's got a length to find on Green Garnet in that run to Rich Folks Hoax. And it's not taking anything away from Green Garnet and saying that he won't appreciate the longer run. And he could very well do so as well. But Land of the Rising Sun might have a touch progress to come. So those are the only 2 horses for me, 3 Green Garnets and 4 Land of the Rising Sun. There's an indirect piece of form with number 8 Crowned Hornbill, with Master of the Desert being the key. Master of the Desert, of course, a winner at Hollywoodbets Kenilworth on Wednesday, finishing a length in front of Crowned Hornbill. But there's also a line here with Tunguska, where Master of the Desert was a good 3 lengths in front of Tunguska. So I suppose that does put Crowned Hornbill into the picture, but I'd venture to say that Land of the Rising Sun is probably just one step ahead of the curve and more likely to taste success now. Crowned Hornbill in a run's time will probably be a lot better off for it. And Arbitration, another horse I think has a quartet chance, but probably just fall short of winning.
Okay, Alistair going with the two that are priced up together. Very short, 17 to 10 and 18 to 10. Not much separating them on the fixed odds front. So he thinks that will be good enough there in leg one of Jackpot 1. Race number 6 is over 1,200 meters. We'll bring up the field, have a look at the betting. Number 1, Nordic Chief, is at 7 to 1. Number 5, Kaiboy. I know Alistair did like this last time out. When I was at Hollywoodbets Kenilworth, I was siding with him in that sophomore, but Lion Rampart was just too speedy and too good. At 5 to 2 is number 5, Kaiboy. 6, War Chariot, is at 8 to 1. A nice 53.5 kgs for Michelle Ricks and Harold Crawford. Then we go on to number 8, Dumbledore, at 6 to 1. 10, Handsome Prince, is at 7 to 2. And it's double figures, the balance. I think this is decision time for those that are playing the Pick 6. You're either going to go with what's on offer with the betting and side with the betting market, or you're going to play for the result. And if you're playing for the result, then it does look like a field race.
Geez, I think I've narrowed this down. I've narrowed it down to 4 runners. It's not exactly a ton of help, but it's a little bit of help all the same. There are 4, 5, 6, and 10. I want to start with number 5, Kaiboy. I hold him in very high regard. I think he's well above average. He took a few blows from the handicapper, getting an £8 penalty for being a loser behind Lion Rampart last time, but that's probably justified if you consider the curve that I think he's on. I think he's developing into a well above average sprinter, and I think he's got every opportunity of winning the race if he can overcome what on paper might seem like a harsh penalty, but it probably isn't if you're going to get that close to, right now, probably the best 3-year-old sprinter in Cape Town. So, yeah, that's where Kaiboy stands. Albert DeMeo takes her out for Candice Bass Robinson. I think there's a lot to like about him. Brett Crawford thinks he's got speed race from good heart, working nicely on the back of a 77-day layoff. He goes, and you can tell that the last run was the exception rather than the norm. Very consistent horse, punches above his weight. If he's in the mood, he'll go quite close. 6, War Chariot, very interesting runner. Penultimate start, he looks held by Dumbledore, but he ran into trouble, did War Chariot last time. JP Funamava knows this horse. He does need a certain type of ride, and that you got to sit and sit and sit and sit again on number 6, War Chariot. But his turn of foot is something that serves him well, number 6, War Chariot. So he's always alive. He can flash up and give you a thrill over the closing stages. And then number 10, Handsome Prince, simply because wherever Kaiboy runs, Handsome Prince has actually waited to finish in front of him. There was a quarter of a length between them when they met last time in the sophomore, and there's now 2 kilos for Handsome Prince to play with. Is he quite in the best form of his life? No. He's a good-looking son of Ferrari, and I like to believe that there are a few more wins in the tank. So, actually, by default, I'm going to tip number 10, Handsome Prince, as my top choice. But 4, 5, 6, and 10 going to be my numbers. If you're looking for one other, it would undoubtedly be number 8, Dumbledore. But I am of the opinion that Dumbledore is just one step better at Hollywoodbets Durbanville.
Okay, you heard Alistair and his numbers there, and I'm glad that he touched on that handicap hike of Kaiboy. Go and listen into that interview post-race with Aldo DeMeo when the horse ran second last time out. Of course, we know in the Western Cape that they do interview jockeys that find themselves, whether they run places or hard luck stories. And Aldo DeMeo was spot on. We knew that the penalty was coming, but he did mention, I don't know how that is going to affect this horse's career moving forward. Race number 7, Cape Guineas, a Group 1 over 1,600 meters. This is the main event. This is the top lineup. This is box office on Saturday at Hollywoodbets Kenilworth. And we wish the sponsor of the day, which is Hollywoodbets, all the best with whatever is happening on the day. You heard it from Alistair. If you're thinking about doing something on Saturday, well, beside the horse racing, you'll be entertained by the Cops, so Klopser, and number 1, One Stripe, 11 to 10. Horse number 4, Heather's Boy, the undefeated Heather's Boy. Nice to see Mike de Kock, who is very successful when he raids down in the Western Cape, picks his spots, takes the right type of horse to be competitive. Heather's Boy is at 5 to 2. Number 6, 8 on 18, is at 11 to 2. And then anything else, I think you are playing for a result here. But I think anything else, barring one stripe, you are playing for a result here, Alistair. I was, privileged to be on course when he won what is now known as the Cape Hunters Cup. In whatever form guide you're using, you'll see that it's referred to as the Selangor. But I was privileged to be there. I had a long chat in that interview with Gavin Arena. And it was a commendable win, wasn't it? Just the way and the manner he got the job done, because they had a plan of action on the way they were going to race him, how the race was going to run with the stable companion in the race. But you had to be impressed the way he went and fetched that horse.
So, Dees, this is the way that I read it. I think One Stripe is going to win the Hollywoodbets Cape Guineas. And let's backtrack to the Grade 2 Cape Hunters Cup, because calling that race, I actually thought that the stable companion stole the race. There was a moment at about the 200 where I thought, oh gosh, well, how on earth is Vaughan Marshall going to face this? Sure. But then One Stripe just dropped a gear, he dropped a shoulder, and he showed that unbelievable acceleration that served him so well, and he ran away from a completely overachieving All Out for Six. He's become such a lovely horse as All Out for Six, just because he's almost in the shadow of a stable companion, but the way that he tries, he puts his heart and soul on the line. But can you for one moment say that he's better than One Stripe? There's no way. His turn of foot, the form that he brings, and the prep that he's had, his penultimate starts in that progress plate when giving weights to last year's Hollywoodbets Cape Guineas winner, who's just become a beast of a horse since returning to Cape Town. I think that just sets him up so well. Vaughan Marshall looking for a 6th Hollywoodbets Cape Guineas. Of course, Captain L, probably the most famous of them all, but he knows how to win this great race. He knows how to prep them for this great race. He's got a tried and tested procedure, and it works. Gavin Arena, draw One Stripe. What more do you need? When going through the other horses, these are my opinions. I think Great Plains has got a great turn of foot, but I think he's best served on the Hollywoodbets Kenilworth winter course, Hollywoodbets Greyville, Turffontein inside track, those tight turning courses where he can really use that great turn of foot to his advantage. The extra 150 metres running, I think, might just take a little bit of an edge, despite the fact that he is a very, very nice horse. 3 on my honour, I think probably more of a Cape Derby horse. Number 4, Heather's Boy, very, very interesting. I'm sitting here almost uncomfortable that I've left him out. I can't, in my heart of hearts, suggest that for what he's beaten and what One Stripe has done, that Heather's Boy can beat One Stripe. But what Heather's Boy does to the eye is just that workmanlike, grinding, fierce, relentless way that he's able to grind out results without ever looking sort of 5-star impressive, but he gets the job done. You can see that he loves his work. Number 4, Heather's Boy, he almost wrestles the opposition to the ground and takes them on. So the fact that Mike de Kock has also won 5 Hollywoodbets Cape Guineas with top horses, he's not bringing Heather's Boy down to take a chance, and Mike's been here most of the week. Mike legitimately believes that Heather's Boy's got a fighting chance, and with a world-class trainer, world-proven trainer, more than 100 grade 1s to his name, that's got a ring in the back of the mind. But like I said, in my heart of hearts, do I think he's better than One Stripe right now? No. Bjorn Ironside, very interesting, but I think he's going to target the big cap. 8 on 18, a Derby horse for me. Otaniqua got it all to do on paper. 8 Boundless Energy, I think, is well above average, but again, a horse that's not quite the finished article. I think in 6 months' time, you'll know a lot more about Boundless Energy and potentially even going into the Derby. That's shaping up to be a good race. Same comment applies about Nine Sail, the season. All Out for Six, for all of his gameness and his tenacity, I don't think can beat the stable companion. So that's where I am. One Stripe, banker for me. I'm not looking for a result, and I think that he'll win the 2024 Hollywoodbets Cape Guineas.
Don't want to put you in an awkward position, but a racing fan, or a few of them are listening, they're saying, you know what, we want to play for the big cash. We're not concerned that it's going to cost us a bit more, multiplying our perm out. Just give me 3 more runners if I want to play to beat One Stripe. What will be those numbers for you?
4, 6, and 8 Ds. The 2 Kaya Stables horses, Heather's Boy and Boundless Energy, and 6, 8 on 18. I know that that's not necessarily deviating from what the market suggests, but that's how I read it. I mean, in probably order of class, that's the way that it's going to be.
4, 6, and 8 for Alistair. I'll include 1 more runner if you are playing to beat One Stripe. Number 2, Great Plains. 2, 4, 6, and 8 if you want to play for the result there. Race number 8. 1,800 meters, Ridgemont Peninsula Handicap. It's a Group 3. Let's get into the field. We've given the Group 1 its airtime, which it deserved. Number 2, Triple Time, is at 33 to 10. We move along to number 3, Barathian at 8 to 1. Number 4, Otalukan at 8 to 1. 5, Mucho Dinero at 8-1. 6 is Future Swing at 3-1. Then we got William Iron Arm, number 10, which is a 6-1 shot, and it's double figures, the balance. Over to you, Alistair, because this looks to be complicated, to say the least.
Very, very much so. The last two races where things open up, these got a lot of horses here. I've got more than half the field, so you're going to chastise me. 2 Triple Time in very, very good form. Last run to a stable companion, Snow Pilot, had no right to sort of be in the same race coming back from a layoff, but ran nicely. There's no Snow Pilots in this race. He's back over a more suitable distance. He's forgotten how to win his Triple Time, but he's not far off. 3 Baratheon, overachiever of note. Last time disappointing, but returned with mild distress after the race. Tristan got in time to take the ride for Pete Buerta. He's got to be a player. I think number 4, Otto Lucan, off a lightweight, has a chance here. He was disappointing for me in the Will Avington last time out, but he stays well. There should be more pace in this race than what you would generally get in these type of 1,800 meter races where they kind of all watch on. But with the futurist in here, that will probably help number 4 Otto Lucan a little bit, and he might be at the head of the others, and he could have an opportunity of getting right into the mix. We know Future Swing's undeniable class. This is probably more the type of race for him. Brian Fanika takes a ride for Justin Snaith. I've got number 8 Coastal Commander, put him in on the evidence of his run in last year's Cape Derby, where Oriental Charm was right next to him. Those are the capabilities that he's got, number 8 Coastal Commander. Sean Terry's first run of the season, number 9 Litigation, 2 weeks after the Betway Summer Cup. He's probably not quite a Summer Cup horse, but he could very well be the type of horse for this. The reports about number 10 William Iron Arm are quite noteworthy. Expecting a nice run, second run after a break. And again, Brett Crawford's of the opinion that number 11 Infrared is going to run nicely. I think he's underappreciated by the handicapper, number 11 Infrared. He's not got a nice draw at all, but he could get into the mix. So those are my horses, 2, 3, 4, 6, 8, 9, 10, and 11. But my top choice here is, funny enough, going to be number 8 Coastal Commander. I think that he's got a live winning chance.
Okay, that's a nice result. By the way, last year this race proved to be a result, with Master Redoubt beating Future Swing and the likes of Otto Lucan, Baratheon, Triple Time, and even Rock Pool were all in the race. So could we get another result here in race number 8, or is it going to be a form result? But Alistair's given you numbers. He has played against the rule, so he's only left out 3 runners, 1, 5, and 7. I've jotted these numbers down here, so let's see what happens in that 8 race. Race number 9 is over 1,200 meters. Now, if you're running in this Pick 6, and whether you've played it narrow, you went to the fancied runners, they fell into place, or whether you played for the results and you're standing to collect some big cash here in a big pool, how it's going to end in race number 9. Well, number 1, Paratrooper, is at 5-1. Horse number 3, Arctic Wizard, is at 7-2. 4, Cork Bay, the recent maiden winner, is at 8-1. Then we're on to number 9, Please Be True, gelded, 7th of October, been off since. Richard Ferree's mount at 9-2. Like the look of this individual. And then we have, one more runner in single figures, Alistair. That's number 16, Counter Attack. That's trading at 7-1. Yo, this is a big field. At the time of recording, no scratchings. 18 runners go to post. I'll be very nervous whether the Pick 6 is paying 5,000, 50,000. Well, the nervousness will definitely grow if it goes over 100K plus. But I'll be very nervous if I'm running in a Pick 6 going to the last leg and I don't have the field yet.
Well, I haven't played the Pick 6 to be paying 50,000 come this leg, but I reckon after this leg it could be paying over 50,000 rand. I've taken the easy way out. I've multiplied the perm by 18 because I think we played it nice and light on the first 4 legs anyway, and from here we can hope for any result. It's hard to put a pen through any of these. However, I think the 3-year-olds hold the edge here, and I'll tell you why. I think that they obviously, the argument is, are they progressing? They could end up being nicer horses than all these horses that are tried and tested and in their place, etc., etc. But I think all the 3-year-olds in this race are nicely placed and potentially all above average. Number 3, Arctic Wizard. There was talk around Hollywoodbets Kenilworth on Wednesday about the son of What a Winter. He's done little wrong thus far. He's run close to Kaiboy, who runs in a race 2 division stronger than this earlier on in the day. His last one was workmanlike when he beat Fort Really, showed a lot of pace on that occasion. I think that he's developing into a very nice horse. Number 4, Cork Bay. Perhaps a little bit surprised that he took 3 starts to win. He's got a lovely action about him, the son of Rafif. Andre Null's horses do tend to kick on after exiting the maidens. Corne Offer on board, that's a chance. Number 9, Please Be True, for me the most interesting horse in the race. First run is a gelding. It's back to basics for the son of One World, who's bred for a little bit further, certainly as far as the dam is concerned. But he's always had a bit of a reputation about him, has number 9, Please Be True. If Boundless Energy runs a fair race in the Hollywoodbets Cape Guineas, which I think is hugely possible, then that'll make number 9, Please Be True, very interesting as well. There's absolutely no value in him, but I believe that he's a winning chance. Number 9, Please Be True. The other 3-year-olds that are players, number 14, Golden Destiny, better than his last run, and number 15, Bank Street. I'm having a love-hate relationship with the son of Global View. You'll see him in the parade ring when you come to Hollywoodbets Kenilworth. He's got blinkers on for the first time. I thought he couldn't miss the top 4 last time out behind Night Tiger. He ran no sort of race. I'd venture to say that with the blinkers on, I'm going to include him in my quartets and make a very good case for him getting into the mix, because I think he's a lot better than what he's been showing. But if he doesn't, I might run out of patience for number 15, Bank Street, but I've always got him in my mind and I've always got him in my play. Overall, my top choice here would be 3 from 9, but then with numbers 15 and 4s as potential horses to include, and a horse at a bit of a price that I think is very much alive is number 8, Tough Terrain. If Anthony Andrews can get on with this horse, because he is quirky, he's got a very, very brave running style, but if the pace is on and if Anthony Andrews can just get him to drop the bits and he can switch off and find that electric turn of foot, that burst right at the end, then he's a dangerous horse as well, number 8, Tough Terrain. But with him, it's either first or completely bust.
Okay, it's the field for Alistair in the last straight, playing it safe, but just reading in between the lines, if you can try and minimize the spend, maybe 3, 9, and 15, just multiply it out by 3 and just take that as a cover bet in race number 9. Okay, Alistair, over to you. You mentioned that you've gone for the big one, which is the bet that many will be trying to catch on the day, and I'm hoping that we get to that 4 million rand mark with that million rand carryover. Your bet now, Alistair, that pick 6?
We should do. I know that we fell just short last week, but that was with a double header. And I think the hype around this meeting is just probably going to get us past that 4 million rand mark. Let's hope 5 past 2 is when the pick 6 gets underway. And it says 1 on 4 in front of you. I've got Red Pallister scratching in. If you want to try and double up, Wasaki is going to start favourite. If she wins, then you double up. It depends what you want to do with the spend and how your budget looks. But 1 and 4 / Branker 4 in the opening leg. By 3 and 4 in the second leg, I've gone with Green Garnet and Land of the Rising Sun. Open a little bit more in race number 6, 4, 5, 6 and 10, Speed Racer, Kaiboy, War Chariots and Handsome Prince. If you are uncomfortable, I'd recommend number 8, Dumbledore, as the alternative. By Banker 1 stripe. By 2, 3, 4, 6, 8, 9, 10 and 11, a few horses in the penultimate race. By Field in the back, multiply the pair by 18, shop for the biggest outsider to get home. Hopefully that's the way it goes.
Well, you know, with our racing on a daily basis, all the valued racing fans out there look forward to the coverage from around the country. But there are certain race meetings that you can't wait, and this is one of them, Alistair. And I wish the guys in the Western Cape all the best in the lead up to the race, and of course the race day itself, along with the sponsor on the day, which is the mainline sponsor, which will be Hollywoodbets. Promises to be one of those race days.
Absolutely does. And I've got my first taste of my second taste of the Hollywoodbets Cape Guineas, but the first one with the Kaapse Klopse last year. It really is a special day, and just look at the roll of honour of this great race. It'll tell you everything that you need to know. Top horses. I mean, you'll see the likes of Horse Chestnut on the list. That goes without saying, but you'll even see some big names that have been beaten in this race. It is a proper true blue grade 1 classic. You know, when people go to the sales, they're all looking to buy your Hollywoodbets Durbanville winner, your World Sports Betting Cape Town Met winner, your Betway Summer Cup winner. But they look for these classic horses that can get to those races by winning the Hollywoodbets Cape Guineas. It's a very, very important race to the breed, to the country, to everything that goes with it. You have aspirations of running in a race of this nature, and here we go for this year's edition.
Thanks for your time, Alistair, and thanks for filling in for Graham Hawkins. On behalf of Alistair Cohen, the Gallop TV team, myself, Dees9, and to you, the valued racing fan, I am hoping, wishing that pick six that Alistair Cohen has given falls into the place and it's bullseye. Until we meet again, you take care. Salanigas.